All right, hello and welcome back. In this video, you're going to learn how to make your web pages come to life with different types of media. You're going to learn how to work with text, with images, with video, and with audio. My name's Chris Badgett. I'm a partner at CodeBox and co-creator of Lifter LMS, the #1 learning management system plugin for WordPress that makes it easy for you to create and sell online courses from your WordPress website. All right, let's get into it. So let's start with just adding content to a page. So I'm going to click on our About page, and I'm just going to click this Edit button. So if I were to hit Preview over here, that's going to open up a new tab, and you can see there's really nothing here. We could just see the title of the page, no content, the menu at the left, and this footer over here. But what we're going to focus on in this video lesson is how do we bulk out and add the types of multimedia content we want to our About page in this case. So I'm going to go back to the WordPress editor, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some text and just put it in here like that. So if I were to hit Preview, you can see now our About page has all kind of text content, but that's not all you can do with text. So let me just show you a few more examples. One of the first things you'll want to learn how to do is do a sub headline, which is kind of like a mini headline further down inside of your content. So you just can type that in, and then up here on the WordPress editor you can open up this thing which is called the kitchen sink. This is the box you're looking for. This sub headline goes here, is just in the normal paragraph text, but we actually want to make that heading 2, which makes it not as big as the page title, which is like heading 1, but as a fairly large headline or heading 2. So I'm going to preview our change there, and we can see our sub headline down here. So that's, people scan web pages, so it's good to kind of break things up and put sub headlines in there, especially in long articles and things of that nature. So another common thing people want to do is they'll want to add bullet points. So this area up here of the WYSIWYG editor, or the what you see is what you get editor, should look fairly familiar to you. You've got your bold, your italics, your cross through, your bullet points, your numbered list, your quotes. You can insert a horizontal line, left align, center everything, right align, put links in there, and so on. But to do bullet points, you just add them like this. Bullet point 1, and then when you hit return, you got another one here, and so on. You can just keep going and adding your bullet points, and then hit return when you're done and you don't want to add any more. So now if we were to preview, you can see our bullet points are there. Now let's go and maybe we want to add like a numbered list. We could do that here. So point number 1, 2, 3, and so on. So that's how you would add a numbered list, which is very helpful, like if you're doing step-by-step instructions or a recipe or that sort of thing. So what else is common for text? Well, sometimes we want to bold something that's really important, so we can just bold that. Sometimes we want to draw emphasis with italics, so we can do that. Let's say we have this thing right here. This sentence is a quote of some kind. So I'm going to highlight all that and add this quote here. So let's preview all that stuff and see what that looks like. So if we jump over to our About page, you can see the bold text here, our bullet points. This is what the quote looks like. Really nice, kind of sets it apart, makes it look a little different. You can see our italics right here, and our subheadline, our numbered list, and so on. So that's a really quick tour of how to use the text editor, if you will, or the WYSIWYG editor, and how to style up your text and some of the basic options you have. So now let's do something that a lot of us do after text, and that's add an image. Alright, so the first thing we want to do when we're going to add an image is just kind of put the cursor where we want it. So let's say I want to have an image kind of up here at the top but on the right side of the text. So I'm going to go to my first line here, drop the cursor there, and click Add Media and Upload Files. You can browse to it, but I'm actually just going to drag and drop here. And I'm just going to drop in a picture of the Lifter LMS logo. And then we have some options over here. Now, since we want it to show up on the right over here, we want to think about how big we want it to be and so on. So I'm going to do right align. I don't want the image to actually link anywhere, so I'm going to select none. Let's say I did want the image to link to the Lifter LMS website. I would do this, and that's how you make an image link. But in this case, I'm just going to do none. And I'll go with the smaller 150 by 150 instead of the full-size image, which in this case is only a 200 by 200 pixel image. I'll click Insert, and you can see it shows up there now. And if we preview over here, we can see there's our right-aligned image. And of course, if we wanted to go down deeper into our text, and let's say right in here we want to do a full-width image, I'm going to do Add Media, Upload Files, and here's a picture of me walking the dog and going out into the woods with my two children. This image is taking a little longer to upload. It is a little bigger. I could probably optimize this image to be a little lighter, smaller for the web, but I'm just using it for demonstration purposes here. And you can optimize the image weight and file size and that sort of thing in your photo program. So that is coming up right there, and I'm going to do no alignment on that. I want it to be full size, and I also don't want it to link anywhere. Insert that into the page. So there we go, that's loading in. And I'm going to preview that over here, and you can see that image. So now this web page is really starting to come to life. Well, what if we want to add a video? Let's do the simplest way to do it, which is to go to YouTube and grab your video that you want to use, and you can also use Vimeo. In this case, I'm going to go to YouTube and grab a video that I want to put into that page. This is a video about our learning management system plugin for WordPress, Lifter LMS. And in the past, if you're used to working with videos on web pages, you could click this share link, and you could get this fancy embed code. But really, the way it works now is all you need is the YouTube URL. So I'm just going to copy that YouTube URL and go back to my web page, and let's say I want to add that video right here above, between these two paragraphs here. I'm just going to put the YouTube URL. You can see it's loading in right there. Boom. I'm going to hit preview, and over here we now have a playable video on our web page. Okay, so now the next thing we want to experiment with is adding audio to our web page. So let's say we want to add an audio player down here between the last two paragraphs. I'm going to go over to this website, SoundCloud. This is where I host a podcast with Joshua Millage called LMS Cast. It's for people in the e-learning industry, people looking to build better membership sites, people to build true WordPress learning management systems. It's called LMS Cast, and this is one of our episodes, which is just an MP3 episode. It goes to iTunes, it goes to SoundCloud. But if we want to stick this onto our site, we could just grab the embed code here from SoundCloud and add it to our WordPress site. So on SoundCloud, you just click on Share, and then you switch it over to Embed. And I like this little skinnier horizontal player. Copy that code and head back over to our WordPress site, and just keep in mind that when we are actually putting in iframe code, which you can see how this has like actual this greater than, less than sign at, kind of at the beginning and the end of the code. That's real code, which means that we can't just paste this into the visual editor. We're going to want to switch over to the text editor, which allows for code. And I'm just going to drop it in right here, hit update, and then let's preview our page. So now at the bottom here, we've got a SoundCloud player, which looks great, and you can see it's just awesome in the way it plays like that. Now the other cool thing about WordPress is if you do want to add audio to directly to your website, to your hosting account, and have it be playable on a web page, you can do that. You need to be careful and mindful of space considerations. If you're going to get a lot of traffic, it's going to use a lot of resources to play that audio, in contrast to having it hosted elsewhere, like with SoundCloud, in the same ways that it's better to host your videos elsewhere. But if you do want to put audios on your site, let's say we wanted to put an audio file here at the very bottom of our web page here. So I'm going to click Add Media, Upload Files, and in this case I'm actually going to drop this MP3, which is not a JPEG, not a PNG, it's not an image, onto that web page. And that's just loading up. You can see it's Lifter LMS audio sample .mp3, 319 kilobytes. It's only 13 seconds long, just using it as a short demonstration here. And you can see here that we can do a couple things, but I want to actually embed the media player. Insert into page, and now you can see there's this little media player there, which is okay to do in some cases if you just want to, put a little bit of audio on your site or a testimonial or something like that. So that's awesome. You can see how we just took an MP3 and put it right on our site without doing the SoundCloud hosting. All right, so that is a quick overview, and it should be pretty exciting at this point. You've learned how to work with text and the different types of text things you can do. We've worked with images, we've worked with videos, and we've worked with audios. So that is how you add content to your WordPress pages.